That for me is a problem, that we are growing. We have fantastic structures for everyone, solutions we can bring to everyone, but we just have not the critical mass to bring it to the next level.
Today, I have the pleasure to welcome in the studio Wim Ritz, who is Principal Alternative Funds and Investor Services at Stellan Partners. Welcome.
Thank you, Jerome. Nice to be here.
It's nice to see you again, and we've met each other for a few years. And I invited you today because your company is rebranded. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Correct. So Stellan Partners is a law firm, a traditional law firm. Long-standing in Luxembourg. We are actually known, or used to be known as PwC Legal Luxembourg, and we recently, a few months ago, decided to leave the network of PwC to become really independent on behalf of clients, to be able to serve them without any interference, any connection directly to any other service provider, whether it's an auditor or a financial service provider or whatever. So real independent, real traditional law firm, there to be the architect of clients.
And how many people work there today?
We've got 45 people today.
Mm-hmm. And you specialize in which things?
Oh, we've got a lot of specialization. So I primarily do everything that's alternative funds and investor services. So family offices setting up their own boutique. So that's where we manage them. We got M&A, we've got traditional corporate services, we got capital markets, we got labor law, we got real estate law. So everything. What we don't do is tax, because that's too specific at the moment. That's something we don't touch. So for that we work with other companies. And real litigation neither. So except for the people in labor law and real estate, you often get into conflictual situations. There you have a little bit of contentious, we say. But for us, we don't really do that. So criminal law, whatever, that is something also where we will work with other law firms.
Very good. So we know that the alternative world has been rocked over the past years.
Yes.
Interest rate went up, now they go down. I know that debt is going really, really well,
Yes.
but other asset classes are not doing so well. Which trend would you identify right now?
What we identify primarily is restructuring at the moment. So people are looking at the structures. At the time, everyone was so busy building. Everything was going well. Everyone was setting up new structures, new SPVs, everything. And going on the rock, they couldn't go fast enough because the investors were pushing the money through.
Yes.
Had to go fast enough. Now that they slowed down, there's still a lot of money around on the market.
Of course.
But what we see, the assets, that's where the issue is today, because a lot of people who bought at high prices, they are not going to sell for less. They want to make a profit. So the prices are going up for the assets, but the other people say from the buyers now say, yeah, we don't want to give those prices for those assets anymore. So we have to wait a little bit until the traditional law on demand and offering find each other again on a balance. So then the market will pick up again. So what you see at the moment is that investors who have invested say but we still want to make a profit today. You have a lot of structures for the assets in your funds underlying. That costs a lot of money just to maintain that.
Sure.
Can't you become a little bit more efficient? Can you not clean up the house? So what we see is that a lot of people are rationalizing their structures, say do we really need all these SPVs? Do we really need all that? So they are rationalizing to cut the costs a little bit and making, what you could almost say, pimping up the bride to make it all look nicer, to make it easier to sell off at a profit for both parties.
Okay, so what the market needs right now is more M&A, more exits, I would say.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
that it becomes a bit more liquid again.
And you see that also with a lot of companies who are actually where the funds where you come to the end of life at the moment, they start to make what the new fashionable term is, continuation fund.
The dreaded.
The dreaded continuation fund. So people are actually saying, okay, it's not the time or right time to go to market, so we roll it over. Maybe old investors, they roll off, they get replaced by other investors, but we keep the assets because it's a good asset, because most of these continuation funds, it is good assets that are in there, but we don't believe that the market, the real market price, can be obtained yet. So we are changing a little bit internally, rationalizing, changing one investor with another, and moving on as well. For us, fine, it's work, so we're happy.
So let's talk about the risks and opportunities, both for your company and for Luxembourg. Which one do you identify? Maybe we start with opportunities.
Opportunities, I believe in AI, which is also a lot to do with the problem that you will see. To me, the problem today is that we do not have sufficient qualified people in the market. You have the US, which is our largest competitor, number one globally for funds. Number two is Luxembourg. If you just compare the two with each other, geographically, you have a continent and you have one of the smaller countries in the world competing with each other. It is not another game of equals. The US, they have a huge amount of people. Luxembourg has a grand region. Also there, if you just quantify that against each other, you immediately feel that there's no balance. So that for me is a problem, that we are growing. We have fantastic structures for everyone, solutions we can bring to everyone, but we just have not the critical mass to bring it to the next level. And there I think there's a huge opportunity in AI. AI today, if you see, and everyone starts to play a little bit, it's fantastic. You prompt, a lot is linked to your prompt. You ask a question, within seconds, you're just typing your prompt and it already starts generating. Sure. It's incredible. And it's getting better every day. So there I see a lot of work that's now being done by highly qualified people, which should be done or could be done by a computer or by AI, is going to accelerate everything, which will mean that every person will get more time to do more work and become more efficient. So I think that even with the critical mass we do not have yet, thanks to AI, we will accelerate and leverage on that, and we will be able to do much more work. It's going to change everything.
Maybe a line on this, that in Luxembourg people are scared because we are a back office and middle office and people think we're going to lose jobs.
I don't believe so.
I also don't believe so. What they miss is that AI is useless unless you have a lot of data. Yes. And Luxembourg has a lot of data.
And that's the point I want to come to, why I believe it is an opportunity, because you're going to get all this output from these prompts. So all these machines are going to spit out papers and opinions and whatever. But everyone has looked at it, everyone has played with it. And if your prompt is not 100% right, the output is not correct. How often, if you read something, you think from how the hell did it came to that conclusion?
Hallucinations, yes.
Indeed, hallucinations. And for that, you need qualified people. So all the people who sit now in these back offices who really are qualified to know what the output should be, they see this thing, they become a more like controllers of the output. So the work they're going to do is much more satisfying, because you're going to get everything, check it, this is right, this is wrong, we change, but you're going to be much more efficient.
You're going to spend more time reading the Excel sheet and less time filling
it in. Yeah, why would we just be knocking in numbers while you can actually get the output? And also there, it is very important to me, and that's an element we absolutely may not forget. I saw that one of the big fours now got this week 320 new starters. All these new starters, they need to become qualified people by knowing how to actually read that data, that output. So it's very important to me that the people, the youngsters who come, that they get trained by the seniors, because at a certain moment the seniors will go on retirement, that these juniors, that they will know how to interpret all the output. But just the AI, it's going to make so much more things efficient. We're going to be able to do so much more work with the amount of people we have today, that I think we have a bright future to not become too optimistic, maybe.
But I agree with that. Maybe another opportunity is that we've built over decades now a lot of trust with asset managers from all over the world. Yes. Could this be an unfair advantage for Luxembourg going forward?
I don't believe there's anything like an unfair advantage for Luxembourg. No, but it's a quality stamp. Wherever you go in the world, if you say from Luxembourg, you don't even have to convince people. They know it's from Luxembourg, by definition, quality, point. That's fine, that's there. The only thing is, again, where we come to the two main questions is, do you have sufficient people to do the work? Yes. We just touched on that one. The second one is, how are we going to open bank accounts in Luxembourg? That's also a topic that often comes back. It is an issue, and we all know that. The banks in the first place, they know that they get hit the hardest because they want to make money. They can't onboard a client because the client costs too much money. They make a loss on it. So they lose money and they lose face to the market, because suddenly you get a reputation from, that bank doesn't want to hire a client. Of course they want to have clients, but they want to have profitable clients. They're profitable entrepreneurs. So that's normal. And it's an issue for everyone. To be honest also, I do not believe that the issue is with the banks. I believe that the issue is in Europe. Europe has at a certain moment become so wild in regulating everything that at a certain moment they forgot the big picture, like what are you actually trying to regulate, what are you trying to obtain, and a bit form over substance. Too many rules to identify a very limited issue, but due to that you actually paralyzed everyone.
Yeah,
and that is a solution. That's a circle we have to break. But I think that we will get there. Knowing Luxembourg, we will find a solution.
Two quick case on this, and I know Gilles Roth is extremely active about it at the moment. One thing, of course, is FATCA. We have 19% of all funds originate from the US. It's 1 out of 5. And we know that, I've heard it from bankers, I'm not going to name which one. Many banks don't want to deal with FATCA anymore. It's just too expensive, too complex, and too dangerous. That's one. The other one is the nationality. If you deal with Russian investors, some of them are absolutely honest people. A lot of banks just don't want to touch it. And that's an issue because if you remember Revolut, the two founders are Russian, and we kicked them out basically in 2017. Now it's one of the most profitable companies in the world. So maybe we need banks to come out clear by saying, you know, if you're American, you need to pay that because it's going to cost us so much. If you're Russian, we don't want to deal with you, or this is all the obligation you will have. More transparency maybe would reduce the level of frustration that people get when they wait 6 weeks to get the letter that they got refused into the bank. Let's go maybe about the risk, both for your company and for Luxembourg. Do you see any risk?
The risk here is becoming complacent. That we all think from here, we're there, it's fine. You're building. You have to be on your toes all the time. You have to keep on looking in the future. Where are we going, and how are we going to adapt to the changing world? Here we're in Luxembourg, we're fine. If you compare to other countries, we're fine, but we're all fighting the same battle. We all want to grow. We need growth for multiple reasons. We got people who we want to feed. We got retirement people who want to make sure that they get a retirement. So you have to grow. In that growth, for that you have to see what's happening in the world. So we have to keep our eyes open, see what competition is doing, other jurisdictions. And a lot of competition comes out of Europe. Let's be very clear about that one. A lot of European countries have seen what a success model Luxembourg is. And they're all trying to do the same because they have the same issues and bigger than us. They got more issues with retirement. They got more issues with unemployment. So I think, if we can just copy paste the Luxembourg model, we're there. But that means competition for us.
Absolutely, with France, with Germany, also Ireland, but the neighbors are really the most competitive
and we should also, as Luxembourg, accept that we are a major player in the market. We're a small country, but we're a major player, and we should not let ourselves intimidated by the voice of other jurisdictions to say Luxembourg, we're going to beat you because you're not fine. As I said, globally, there are a lot of financial centers who are competing with us, but also within Europe. So why would one European player be allowed to do something and Luxembourg not? That's not an equal playing field.
That is when history kicks in. And also culture. I think we can all understand that now everything is becoming holistic. You cannot solve the problem just by pointing at one thing. You need to solve the housing issue, the pension issue, the bank opening. It has to be holistic, so we need everywhere in Europe some very efficient
But it will also take time. It's not like you push one button and it's solved. It is a complex situation, but we will get there. I'm confident.
I know you are, because you're an entrepreneur. So I thank you very much, and I wish you a lot of growth going forward with your new company. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerome.